This short video is intended to give you a little bit more information on how to read the Next Generation Science Standards draft and provide some feedback. You will come to this page at nextgenscience.org and click here to take you to the draft. It's got some information on how to read the standards. That'll take you to the same video that's on the blog post and a helpful diagram. There's a number of PDFs here which are helpful, particularly the practices and cross-cutting concepts matrices with the science and engineering practices and cross-cutting concepts PDFs and connections to engineering, technology, and applications of science. All helpful PDFs to help you get some context before digging in to the actual meat of the thing. This is the video on why NGSS, also linked from the other page, and here is the link to the survey to actually get you started into providing feedback. When I first looked at this, I went here to search for individual performances and found that somewhat helpful, where you can expand and look at specific ideas, concepts, practices, grade levels, and so on. But I later learned that searching by topic is a more intuitive look, and I recommend that now that I've tried it both ways. Coming to this page, you can see that you can also search by grade level, and you can also search by discipline, but you can also see all of the performance expectations by topic that are in the current draft. There are also storylines for elementary that are PDFs that you can download that tells something about how these would play out at K2 and 3.5. Looking at a specific set of performance expectations standards, the standard for climate change, you can see the structure of the thing. Has a set of performance expectations up at the top that you can change the color coding on in a couple of three different ways, and that is what they call black and white, which also has the clarification statements and assessment boundaries in red. Then practices and core ideas highlights the practices in blue and the core ideas in orange, or practices and cross-cutting concepts, and that has the practices again in blue and the cross-cutting concepts in green. You can't color all three dimensions at the same time because there's some overlap between cross-cutting concepts and core ideas. So if I flip back and forth, you can see how some text is highlighted in orange that also ends up highlighted in green. Then you can mouse over these things, and that will bring pop-ups that provides detail on the particular phrase. If it's orange, that's the disciplinary core ideas, so it brings up a more detailed look at that. Blue is the practices. If we switch so that we've got green and blue instead, then that brings up the cross-cutting concepts. All of those things that appear in the pop-ups are also in the boxes in the center of the diagram. This is all from the framework for K-12 education that came out, K-12 science education that came out last year, and that means that this text is not in draft format, but this is in the format of the framework, and if you click on it, it will take you to the page of the framework where that comes from. And down below that are connections to other disciplinary core ideas in this grade level, to disciplinary core ideas across grade levels, and to ideas from the English Language Arts Common Core and the Mathematics Common Core. These areas, in the gray boxes at the bottom, and in the performance expectations, is where the most productive feedback can be given to the authors of the document. Again, the middle content here is not in draft form, but this is. So target your feedback on the performance expectations or the connections across the disciplines and focus on what you know most about and are deal with the most, and that can make your feedback both more manageable and more valuable for the authors of the document. That's all.